Let's just make sure everybody gets in. Frank's here tonight with us. Frank is actually, he was in another class, but he had to drop out, so he's in this class now. So welcome, Frank, everybody. All right, awesome. Glad to have you. All right, let's make sure everybody's trying to get in here. All right. So before we get going, Rosario, do you have any questions? Can't hear you. Can't hear you, baby. Here, I'll mute yourself. So keep that finger real close. There you go. You got any questions?
Not yet.
Okay,
Not yet.
good. You keep asking those questions. You'd be surprised, if people have questions and then you say, you got any questions? Everybody's like, no, I don't have any. All right, so let's get started because this is going to take a little bit of getting used to, but this is really the accountability portion of the class, which is really just kind of like a check-in with everybody to see what's up. We had some homework, those things to do, the daily tasks and what have you. So Ben, why don't you start us off? So you want to slate, and slating is when you say your first and last name and you look at everybody. If we were in person, we would just kind of look out into the crowd and you'd be standing in front of us all. But since we're on Zoom, just make sure that you meet eye contact with everybody here and just say, hi, my name is, your first name and your last name. And after that, just go into your actual, like, did you do these things? That's what I'm interested to find out. All right. And then I'll guide you from there.
Hey, everybody. My name's Ben Jones. How's everybody doing? Yeah. Couple of days I did the three things, but a couple other days I didn't because I sprained my ankle and I was a little injured for like 2-3 days. So, yeah.
So you couldn't go, you couldn't move.
Nah.
Oh my God. You made it easier for you to do these things.
Yeah.
But instead you turned it into an excuse. I hope you're feeling better, bro. I hope your foot's okay. But
gotcha. Thanks. Yeah. I'm done playing basketball.
For now.
Yeah, maybe for good.
Okay. You look like a football player, actually.
That's where everybody
Talk to
thinks.
Frank about that. He's a football player.
Yeah,
all
right,
but I like
meditating.
So Ben, be a little more specific. I was on the phone with one of my coaches yesterday, and he was like, Bernard, you need to be more specific. He asked me a question and I wasn't specific. So he's like, no, I mean real specific. And I tried to be more specific. And he's like, no, that's not even specific enough.
I got you.
So I'm going to say to you, you had how many days? We had what? Between
7.
the last time we saw each other, right? 7?
7, yeah.
Right. So how many of those days did you do it?
I meditated 5 days. And I did like everything like 5 days. The first day,
not bad.
the first day actually, like the day after you told the Wednesday, I was with some guy that always annoys me. And I actually had like a good, like positive, like whole conversation with him, like the whole day. Usually we're always butting heads and stuff. But that day, like it felt weird. And I kind of thought, felt
weird.
like I was giving him the like appreciation more.
Perfect, man. That's it.
Yeah.
No matter how much somebody annoys you, the reality is when you come out of the interaction, you're the one that's going to actually lose. Because
Yeah.
if you hold on to the negative emotion, then it sticks with you and then it kind of brings you down. It's as simple as that, man.
Right.
But I love the fact that you were being very conscientious and you were like, it felt weird. And that's exactly what it's going to feel like. Because we're literally changing, man, the way you do business day to day with your world.
Yeah, definitely.
Because we're going to come out of this 6 weeks, and whether or not you become an actor or not, or you continue, you're going to have some skills that you're going to relate to everything that is in a different way, and it's going to leave you with more power. All right. So one of the things to help you, Ben, is, remember when I mentioned tracking it and writing it down, right? So tracking and writing down is so powerful, man. It's so powerful. And I just so happened to have a meeting with the guy who taught me that. And there was like 20 other people from all around the world, and they're all doing similar stuff. They have schools and they train people and they, creating like amazing not-for-profits that are creating peace in the world, and all these like totally awesome people from like, and I mean everywhere. I mean, like, I'm talking on one call, there was people from like Jamaica, UK, Egypt, New Zealand, a few different parts of the United States, Canada, just all over the country. And we're all coming together because we all share like a retreat that we went on, and we learned something that I'm teaching you little bits and pieces of right now. Right. So basically, man, like if you track it and you record what you do, it's going to help you get it done 7 out of 7. Cause we all know if you do something half-ass, it's just as good as not doing it. You see what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So we have the first week to experiment, all of us, and we get to see were we able to do it, because it's a new thing. You know what I mean? It's a new thing. And, is it easy? No, it's not easy. Is it hard? No, it's not hard either. You know what I mean? But it's like, it's easy not to do it just as much as it's easy to do it, because it's only 15 minutes,
Exactly.
So it's a real test of like your whole, your relation to everything that is, man. And but I'm proud of you. I think you did good. 5 out of 7 ain't bad. Did you do and you got thinking when you came to that negative energy that you've been harboring for that person.
Yeah.
You got thinking about it. You see what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And you moved away from that interaction. You're like, wait a minute, what? I'm not going to do what I normally do. That
Yeah,
doesn't
right.
feel good, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And
Yeah.
if you can learn this stuff young, man, I wish somebody was teaching me this when I was like young, because it would have saved me so much useless time. Because the reality, everybody, is no high energy result will ever flow to a low energy source. So if you're mad and upset and negative, that's a low energy. But the law says no high energy result will ever flow to a low energy source. So imagine if you can just keep increasing your energy so it's higher and higher, you're going to get everything you want quicker and quicker. You see what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And we're just going to use it for acting. You guys just happen to get the acting teacher guy that's going to teach you all the mysteries of the universe, which some of you already know, a lot of them, right? But practicing them every day and knowing them are two totally different things. All right. But all in all, good job. I love that you had a little revelation that you did meditation 5 days. Don't forget, affirm. I'll add some more info in about how to do your affirmations. And also, don't forget appreciation every day. All right.
Definitely.
Okay, cool, man. Good work. So everybody give him a hand for that. That was nice. Awesome. All right. So let's move right over to Frank. I'm just going down like Hollywood Squares right now. I'm just going right what I see. So Frank, have you been doing everything? You've been here a little bit longer than everybody else, kind of coming in and out when you were able to, but now you're in this class, which is awesome. So have you been able to do everything each day? Oh, and slate your name first and last. And unmute yourself. And put your underarm deodorant on. No, I'm kidding.
Hello, I'm Frank Anderson. What am I supposed to do again? I'm sorry.
Okay, so Frank, I know you've been under duress and all that. So basically, each day, the goal here is to get all of you to instill a new habit of meditating, which across the board is just it's amazing habit, right? Meditation. So many like successful 9 out of 10 people meditate every day in whatever way, you'll find your way. And then the other part to it is affirming each day. So like you could do, I'm an amazing actor. I memorize things quickly. I take on new information easily. You see what I mean? I'm just affirming positive vibrations on purpose. And the third thing is appreciation. So I taught you appreciation, where you look at something outside of you and then you focus in on it and then you send it positive energy. And by virtue of whatever you send out is what you get back. So do that 5 minutes each day.
So I have been, since the first class that we had, I have been working more on concentrating a little more, and not getting as upset as I used to. I actually went out and brought beads. and they're supposed to be like moon beads that send good energy, towards you. They're supposed to keep you healthy and keep you vibrant and things like that.
Awesome.
So I have been doing that actually. So these are it. And
Perfect. Yeah, beads will keep you. Anything that's positive is going to keep you healthier.
Mm-hmm. I've been sleeping a little better behind it. I've been eating a little better behind it. And even when I was sick, I didn't feel as bad as I think everything else was. I didn't feel as bad as what the prognosis was.
Gotcha.
So,
Good.
I'm actually grateful for that. And I just learn to appreciate life every day as it goes, because you never know
Cool.
when it's going to turn.
That's beautiful, man. Yeah, that's beautiful. And that's the thing, cultivating appreciation, because there's really only two ways you can go. You can go up or down, right? It's like left or right. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like you're going in a direction. A lot of people don't want to admit it. They think, "Oh, I'm stuck." No, you're not stuck. You're going down.
You know what
You
I
know what I
realized?
mean?
You know what I realized, Bernard?
What?
I feel like I realized when people are amongst other individuals, they unconsciously um, try to be what the actual group is, instead of stepping away from what the group is actually doing. So if something negatively is going on, it seems like that same vibe tends to unconsciously, get to you. So
Good point.
your mind is stepping away from those negative entities tends to put a better light on your perspective and how you can move further without the negative energy.
Good point. There's another law, just like gravity, that says that you're the average of the 5 people that you hang out with the most.
Yeah.
In every respect, in net worth, in you name it. You go down your happiness. It's the energy that you put yourself in close proximity to that actually does influence you. So yes, if you go into negative situations, that negative energy can wash over you, and it can actually make a pretty decent person do some weird, crazy stuff. And it happens time and time again. It's because people aren't necessarily aware. You got to be very careful where you're putting your energy. That's why, like, you could go into a bar and you don't even have to drink, and sometimes you'll leave and you'll actually feel drunk. You'll have like a hangover the next day because you were in that energy. So be very careful of that. Yeah, it's so true. You want to always stay around positivity, man, as much as possible. People that are negative in your life, you got to be very careful about that. Some of them are family members and friends, and you got to be, you have to address it properly. You don't want to be like, you know what, I can't hang out with you anymore. You are negative energy, because they're not going to necessarily be able to handle that. But you might want to just kind of say, like, look, I'm busy. I'm trying to focus in a direction, and you know what I mean? You got to sometimes tread lightly, man, around the negative energies that are around you. At all costs, you got to stay positive at all costs. Right. So that means you don't go out, or you don't get into that phone conversation with that person that is going to start talking about how much of a bastard Donald Trump is. You know what I mean? Like, you got to stay out of it, because it's not helping you at all. You know what I mean? Cultivating negative energy is not helping you, no matter how much you want to justify that it is. It just ain't. I would rather you achieve everything you want to achieve on the planet Earth and then get as negative as you want, because then at least you got what you want, right? But again, no high energy results ever going to flow to a low energy source. And people that are miserable and people that are drinking and drugging every day, it's a known fact. Drugs and alcohol lower your vibration. It's a known fact. It's just it's a scientific fact. You know what I mean? It's not like oh yeah, should you drink a lot? No, it's like, it's actually every time you put alcohol, and I drink occasionally, on the weekend or whatever, when it's like I enjoy a drink or something, right? But I know what I'm doing to my vibration. I'm lowering it. You see what I mean? That's why some people don't touch it at all, right? So it's very real what you're talking about, man. I'm glad you noticed that. Because if you're trying to achieve something, God, you want to get the high energy as soon as possible, you know, because that way you'll get high energy results as soon as possible. All right, Frank, good work, man. Way to jump back and get in. I'm so glad, man, you're here. All right, Allison.
Hi, guys. I'm Allison Yo, and I did the assignment 7 days this week. I tracked it in my journal, so I held myself accountable. And I did notice a difference. There was one day where I pushed off doing it until like later in the day instead of doing it first thing in the morning like I did every other time. And I noticed that I was a lot more, I guess I would say, scattered that day, like taking the time to get your mind right before the day starts really like slows me down and lets me like set my intentions for the day and just accomplish them at a better pace than when I'm just kind of throwing things at the wall and trying to see what sticks. So I did really like how it set me up for a nice calm day.
Good work. So 7 out of 7, Allison.
Yep.
And you tracked it.
And I tracked it.
Amazing work. Great. And one of the key things of what you said is that it almost gives you the feeling of like you have more time or things have slowed down for you.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like so many people are stuck in that, oh my God, I'm so busy. I'm so busy. I gotta go here. I gotta go there. But like, you don't need to be busy 8 hours a day. You can take focus busyness, meaning like, you know, an hour, 2 hours here, 2 hours there, right? Which can actually be more productive than just sitting there for 8 hours thinking like, oh my God, I got to be busy, 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 right? So the fact that you're doing that and you can kind of pull back and see, oh, I need to, it's like do you ever see like a music producer's like board with the levels and they're always fooling around with the levels, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So this is what you're doing with the energy that you have. You're being like, ooh, yeah, I don't need to put that much energy. Okay, wait, I'm going to adjust that. I'm going to adjust that. And it just allows your day to flow better. It flows in the direction of what serves you best. So I love that you see that in a week. Imagine where you're going to be if you do this for like 30, 60, 90 days. It's going to be a game changer. I swear to God. You'll be out in LA before you know it.
Oh, can't wait. Get me out of Reading.
I just call the class like, get out of Pennsylvania. You know, like that's the name of the class, right? All right. So good work, Allison. Good work. Give her a hand, everybody. Good job. Awesome. All right, Rosario.
Okay, so my name is Rosario Gallo. So for the meditation, I'm doing it for the couple days ago. But on the first day, on Wednesday, I did it on the morning. So I downloaded the Calm app, you know, the app.
Oh, I know about it.
I was laying in bed, and then like for the five first minutes, I felt like my body was so relaxed, like my muscles, my bones. I feel like I don't know, like an electric something, and I feel so like confidence in my body.
Cool,
And
man.
I felt like my shoulders were like down because I usually have my shoulders up.
Yeah.
So I have like I felt that day that my shoulder was like down.
Relax. Good.
And throughout the day, I felt like my brain was more like calm and like more focused. Because usually I have like ADHD and anxiety.
Yeah, that's all bull. I don't believe in that stuff, but go ahead. Talk about it.
So I was more concentrated, more focused, and
Good.
Yeah.
Hey, man, everything you said, see, like the fight or flight response for human beings is like, you know, like shoulders up, like tense, you know, but see how what you're doing, if you do it, how many times you do it? How many days out of the 7?
Like 5.
5. Good work. So,
yeah.
you know, you're training yourself to calm down and relax. And the more relaxed you are, the more intelligent you become.
And I can
You
even
know?
speak I can even speak more clearly, and yeah, it's more. I see the change.
Oh, beautiful, man. So now you see like 30 days, you do it every day, right? And if you can get 7 out of 7, like when you do something where you don't quit no matter what, right?
Hmm.
And you're not going to be like, oh yeah, but you know, my cousin Ralph came in and we were like party. It's like, come on, stop. Like, stop. Like, there's no excuse. Like, just do it. It's 15 minutes of your day that serves you. And when you get to that level where you're like so committed, then it actually makes it all happen even more, you know, even faster for you. So all these positive results that you've noticed already, you're going to start making them expand exponentially. And then all of a sudden, once you let up that energy of like that, you know, all that stuff, then another like more energy will come to you because you're not spending it in directions that you don't need to. And then that's when like new revelations and new understandings and new ideas will come to you. And then you just start executing on the new ideas that you're getting. And you're like literally, you know, creating like at a better rate, at a higher energy. You
Yeah,
get that?
yeah.
Awesome, man. I'm really happy for you, bro. And again, that's why like this is so important. I mean, this is important for anybody, but the fact that you guys are using it for acting is just because, you know, if you do go to LA or whatever, like people are really intelligent. I mean, like people, you know, people around here are just like, you don't have to do in Philadelphia what you have to do in Los Angeles to survive. Do you know what I'm saying, everybody? Like you got to almost work like 3 times harder in LA because things are 3 times much more money. It moves faster. It's always sunny. It's like Philly. It's like people are like, oh, okay, like let's relax. Like, oh, the Eagles won. All right, let's like not do something for a week, and then, while we're at it, let's tip somebody's car over. It's like it doesn't make any sense. So you know, I'm like kind of preparing you for the reality of like these higher energies, which is really great. I'm so glad, man, that you did that and you got that. And you keep asking questions if you need help with stuff. All right. All right. Good
Okay.
man. Good work. All right. Dominic.
Hi, everybody. Dominic Anapete.
So did you do it?
I did it for 5 days straight. I tracked it every day. I tried to do it during the day, but for me, I've been doing this sort of for 2 years, ever since my injury. So meditation is something I believe in 1,000%. But yeah, at nighttime for me, it's something I'm very spiritual as well. So I add in a prayer element to it as well, which goes into my appreciation piece. I did give some energy to a family member who I don't really enjoy their company.
Right.
My sister, sorry. But yeah, I mean, I think it kind of dulls the hatred, if that makes sense.
Good.
And it helps me spiritually. Again, it's things I've done for a while, but I also try to do something different. I tell myself I'm an actor.
Good.
Because I have problems saying that in public. Because to me, it's something that I definitely want, but it's sort of like saying something that's not real yet, I guess, in my head. I don't know. That's something I'm working on.
Okay, good. So it's great that you did it 5 out of 7. Now here's the kicker with your sister. And believe me, I've been there, you know, with my brother. I've been in like, oh my God, so many fights with my brother. And like, it just, you know, it's almost like the opposite world. Like you're actually doing something sometimes with somebody and you know, like, and anybody, you could interview like Jesus himself and Jesus would say, yes, you're absolutely correct that your sibling is being a complete idiot, right? But they just don't see it. They see it like complete opposite. So it really is tricky.
Yeah.
It's really tricky. So, but the reality, Dom, is that that's the energy that kind of needs this the most.
Yeah.
Because if you can handle that, that really is going to open you up. It's like your biggest challenge
Yeah.
because it's so close to you, and you know that you're so right, and that they're like, you know, that they're just like being, I don't know, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And it's just it's like, it's almost like a final test. Can you send this thing energy that's positive? And you know what? A good way that I was taught to understand it is that if you can all just go on this little exercise where you just, you know, if you want to close your eyes, you can. If you don't, that's fine. But you just kind of move out of your body and you notice your body, like you see your body. All right. And that's just your soul, you know, your energy, your awareness. Anybody can do that, right? It's not no magic hocus pocus stuff. It's just you can move your awareness, look at yourself, and then move yourself out a little further and look at yourself and look at your sister.
Yeah.
And even look at, you know, your job, look at your life, look at your relationships, look at everything that you have going on.
Yeah.
And realize that you're feeding energy into each and everything that's actually happening. And you can decide what type of energy you're feeding into all these experiences that you're having.
Mhm.
And when you finally decide, when you're like, you know what? I'm putting negative energy into that. No wonder it keeps turning up negative, right?
Sure.
So just take yourself outside, and then some relationships, they're actually not even worth salvaging. So you can just be like, you know what? I'm going to just turn off the energy towards that and let it go out. Let it just, you know, get off me, because I don't need to continue to create that. So if you can see that kind of sometimes helps, and you can realize just the reality. See, the only reason that we're doing anything that's hurting us is because we're unconscious that it's actually hurting us. But once we become conscious that it's actually, oh, wait a minute, that doesn't, like Ben, I think, Ben, you realize that you were with that person. You're like, wait a minute. Usually I'm like in some argument or in my own head about this person. Why the hell am I doing that? That's not helping me. And then you became conscious of it. And now you're like, oh, I think I'm going to try something else with that. I'm going to try a different technique of my energy. And actually, it's probably going to make me feel better, you know? And that's exactly what it does. It's almost like it releases like a weight off of you.
Sure.
And you feel better. And therefore, again, your energy goes up. No high energy result will ever flow to a low energy source. It doesn't mean that there's just a high energy and a low energy. It means that there's all kinds of high and all kinds of low. I'm just trying to keep getting you high, because it can go infinite, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Dom, if you can really work it on the sister, man, what's her name?
Jessica.
Jessica.
Yeah.
Really work it on Jessica. Like, just, you know, and it's funny because you know what you could do? You literally, I don't know what kind of thing she does. My brother does some shit, you know, that I could probably tell you guys about, but I'll save you the words. But whatever she's doing, just be like, you know, like for instance, if she complains, I'm just saying, I'm not saying she's a complainer, but if she complained, this is how you do it, Dom. Oh, look at that. She's complaining. Well, you know what? She's a pretty good complainer. She does a good job at that. There's some reason that she needs to do that, and that's okay. I accept that. And you know what? I love her for it. And you know what? She's pretty good at it. She's good, actually. Her voice actually sounds pretty good when she does that. See, all you're doing is you're actually, you know, people are like, there's always like a silver lining.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. You're literally trying to find a silver lining in the negative behavior so that you can process it. And then once you process it, how ludicrous it is, right? Then you're like, oh, okay, now you've hit it on a different angle. So now you kind of loosen it up. Now it's a little bit easier for you to take. And then once you can finally take it, because it's a little harder to just be like, Dom, come on, love your sister. You know, it's a little harder. So a little harder pill to swallow. So what you do is you literally, like, whatever she's got coming at you, you appreciate it no matter what it is. Even if she's like, damn it, Dom, I told you that this is a rah, 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 rah. You could be like, well, look at you, you know, that's pretty great. Now you don't have to say it out loud. You could just say it in your mind. Like, Well, look at you. You can raise your voice and point. Way to go. Like, you see what I'm saying? It's so crazy. But
Yeah.
but it helps you because now you start switching your focus, and now you start going towards the direction of appreciation, and then you can really start sending some powerful bombs of, like, love in there. And then before you know it, the person starts changing actually.
Understood. Yeah.
It always happens that way. They actually start changing because we're creating our world.
Gotcha.
There's like no excuses. Like, it's all our creation. And I would even say to people too, to make it easy, you created where you were born. You created your parents. A lot of people don't ever want to take responsibility. Like, well, you can't help. You can't. It's like, of course you can. You were energy before you came in, and you decided that's the energy frequency that you needed to go into so that you could learn what you needed to learn. You needed to be born like me. My dad was an alcoholic. I needed to be born into an alcoholic. Because why? Because I needed to learn about that so I could help other people get over addictions and negative stuff that holds them back. It's as simple as that. Now, I resisted that for a long time, but once I embraced it, things changed in a positive direction, right? So there's always a lesson, everybody in our life, mother, father, sister, brother, cousin, uncle, friend, boss. That usually comes up a lot. My boss, my boss, my boss. Well, guess what? You chose your boss. How's that?
Yep.
You chose the boss. You know why? Because you needed to get past that. You needed to understand how much control you actually have of your life. So, Dom, good stuff. I'm glad you brought up your sister, man. That will really help everybody.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Everybody. All right. Good work. Roger.
Hello, I'm Roger Chu. So I did the exercises every night since our last class, basically. Yeah. So I've done a lot of meditation before, so it wasn't necessarily anything new, too much new for me. I like to use it to wind down at times. But for me in general, the meditation piece is great. It took me like a few years to get to a point of understanding that as long as I don't attach expectations to it, right? Like if I'm attaching expectations to what I should get from meditation, it becomes simple in and of itself. And really just accepting meditation for what it is, it makes it a lot more relaxing, a lot more, I guess, fulfilling than trying to be like, oh, I have to get this out of it, or I have to feel this way, or I have to do this way. Whatever comes of it, and that's kind of how I approach it.
Excellent. You going into it open to everything, attached to nothing. That's brilliant. That's the kicker that gets a lot of us is that we get attached.
Right.
We're like, I better get something out of this. I've been doing this for like 14 days straight. What the hell's happening? Like, and that's great, man, that you're just going in and you're just like, hey, I'm doing it because I'm doing it. I'm not doing it because I'm attached to what the outcome or result is. And then allow whatever's going to happen. And you know what? Whatever needs to happen to keep getting you further down the road is going to happen, man.
Mm-hmm.
So that's great. So the affirmation and appreciation, how did that help you? Did you realize anything with that or what?
Yeah, so I actually, to me in some ways, those felt kind of like mantras. And so I kind of attached that. I basically just meditated through and then just shifted mantras basically. And the affirmation piece, I think I used so I actually used the YouTube link that you sent. So the first section was I used the I am that I am. And that was interesting in terms of just like having that and picturing that as like kind of to what Dominic said, the idea of like being an actor, right? And then the next section I did was then the affirmation you had of I have a mind open to everything, attached to nothing. And then the last section was the affirmation piece. And I think I'm still trying to get there in terms of the affirmation piece. But it's kind of my point being that, I'm not trying to rush it. If I try to rush it, then it stresses me out, and then it just kind of doesn't do what it's supposed to do. And so I think it'll get to me at some point.
Yeah, that's it, man. And now on a daily discipline and tracking and timing and things like that, you're putting kind of more attention onto it, and you're kind of holding yourself accountable at a different level. You're certainly going to get something more powerful from it, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think that's great, man. I think it's great exactly where you're at. I'm going to give you all something after we get done this talk, once we all get done sharing. That's going to help bring that affirmation in, because it's more than just saying it, right? Because if you say it and you don't really believe it, like Dom, you were saying, well, I don't quite believe that I'm the actor, right? I'm going to show you how to do that. Don't worry. We're going to figure that one out, right? We're going to understand what that all means, like saying it, feeling it, and all that. Well, that's what we'll learn tonight, in addition to the other stuff. So, but good work. Good work, Roger. Thanks so much for sharing. Give him a hand. Good work. Awesome. Good stuff. All right. Ghetto Reese, what's up, man?
Hey, all right, here we go. What's up? What's going on with you, man? How you been? How everybody been?
Good. Excellent. So just go ahead and slate, and then just tell us if you worked on the things each day.
Well, yeah, I started the affirmations and the accepting. That's what I started. The accepting was like very easy for me because I was dealing with a lot of people that was like ruffling my feathers. Bus drivers, you know what I mean? Like, stuff like that. So it was easy. It was easy for me to have people that weren't on good terms with me to look at them and then like appreciate them. Like,
Perfect.
I'm like, well, I appreciate the fact that you stopped the bus, even though it's halfway down the block, but I appreciate that you stopped it, So I found that it was easy for the affirmations, as though I do music, so I'm used to being repetitive, but it was more so taking the time to feel what I was saying and not just saying it, but feeling what I was saying. So the having your mind open to everything and attached to nothing, like that's something that really struck with me, and I feel like I can resonate that into my daily life, just being more open to stuff and being and then in return getting more opportunities. So like
Exactly.
I feel like I gotta keep doing it daily for the discipline, but I feel like it's a good start. It's something that's beneficial to work on.
Excellent, man. And how much did you do it again? Like how often over the 7 days?
Yeah, I did it up to probably day 5.
So 5 days, 5 days out of 7. Okay. So yeah, a couple other people did 5 out of 7, which ain't bad, but it's not, it ain't full on. So you got to make sure everybody understands it's a full commitment, because you can't half-ass anything, right? Because if you half-ass something, even if you 9/10 ass something, right? It's still nothing. Right. You got to be all in, like 100%, right? And this is like, it's 15 minutes, so it's not a lot of time, but it's easy not to do it just as much as it's easy to do it. So, but in order to get the full effect and to understand what's happening, yeah, go for it. But I think even with just a 5 out of 7, people are realizing some positive results. I love what you did with the bus people. I mean, yeah, man, everything you see in your environment, it's taking responsibility for everything that you see. Right. And there's out of all the human race alive on the planet, there's really, a lot less people. Like I would say, 90 or more, 95% of people are not going to take responsibility for everything. They're going to say why something else is doing it. They're going to say it's because of this, that this is this, and this is this. It's like, well, guess what? If you feel so strongly about something, then you have every right in the world to ascend to a level where you can actually change it. Because you know what? That's what all the greatest people ever did. Men, women, young people, old people, they stopped talking and started doing. You know what I mean? So it's really something you can practice as sacred with yourself now that you're becoming more closer aligned with it. And I'm promising you that literally by the end of 6 weeks, you're going to notice huge differences. And you probably noticed some little minor differences already. But Reese, before you came on, I told everybody about this concept. It's a truth of the universe, and that is no high energy result will ever flow to a low energy source. All right. So you got to constantly keep yourself in check with raising your energy. And the way and as high as your energy can go is really infinite. Your energy can go to an infinite place. So the higher you can raise it, then you'll attract results that are at that energy. Does that make sense?
I agree with that.
Cool. So look back, everybody look back in your life and be like, well, did you ever have a problem? Right? Well, yeah, hell yeah, we all have problems, right? We probably all have a bunch of problems right now, right? But now with this idea in mind, taking responsibility for all those problems and realizing, oh, there must be some kind of vibe I'm putting out. You get that?
Right.
That's empowering. It's so much more powerful than, oh, I don't know why this person's acting like an asshole.
Right.
You have no power. So I love it. I love the work everybody's doing. Give Reese a hand for that. Good stuff. All right. So, all right. Really, really great work, everybody. I'm so happy that you're doing it. Most of it. You know, very, very rare do we ever have people that are just like, oh, I'm not doing it at all. It's like, I mean, look, this isn't the end all be all. I've just been studying this stuff for like 30 years and testing it on thousands and thousands of people from all backgrounds, you name it. And it just so happens that, you know, human beings like things in 3 and they like it easy. This is like an easy way to do 3 things that are super powerful. And if you track it and you time it, that makes it even more powerful for you. And the results that you can get are just, they're going to be phenomenal. All right. So does anybody have any questions about the work that we just did as far as that habit goes? Any questions like holdups or any challenges that anybody has? Anything? Feel free. Anybody? So everybody understands what's going on with that. All right. So double down or double, triple, quadruple down, whatever the hell you got to do to get it done. Right. Because you're going to thank yourself. You're going to thank yourself. This type of work is going to lead to more power, personal power. So if you did it 5 out of 7, make it 7 out of 7. If you're lying to us right now and you think you're sneaky and great and, you know, do it 7 out of 7. If you did it 7 out of 7, like some of you did, do it again, right? Really get the habit down. And I'm telling you, you're going to see some amazing results. All right. So now before we're going to take, you know, at 7:30, we'll take like just a little couple minutes. But before we do that, I want to do one exercise with everybody. And I want everybody to understand what this is. And what this is a tool. And the tool is in the form of a question. All right. Now, the question is, how would I feel if? So everybody just say that out loud so that they can get it processed in their mind. How would I feel if? All right. You got it? All right. Allison just bopped out. Let's make sure she got it. Allison, did you get the question?
Sorry, my internet cut out. What was that?
That's no problem. So the question is it's a tool, but it's in the form of a question. And the question is, how would I feel if? Okay. So this is going to help you, Dominic. Remember you said, well, I don't know if I say I'm an amazing actor. I don't know if I believe that. It actually probably makes me feel more phony than it does actually authentic. Right. So this is an easy fix. So all of you come up with something that you want, and we're going to use this tool on it. And I'm going to just call on everybody, and we're going to really dial this in so that you have an example of how to use this tool. And then when you're doing your own affirmation that you're going to create for this week, you can make sure with 100% certainty when you say the affirmation that you actually feel that it's real. All right? So think of something that you want right now. It doesn't have to be too complex. Don't beat your, don't try to think of the best thing. Just come up with something. We got to start somewhere. All right? How would I feel if? Okay, so Roger, so state the tool. Go ahead.
So how would I feel if?
There you go. And what do you got? What do you got for us?
How would I feel if I acted in a film?
Okay, cool. Say it. Say it complete. How would I feel if I acted in? Go ahead.
How would I feel if I acted in a film?
Beautiful. Now everybody apply appreciation to him. Roger, how would you feel if you acted in a film?
I think I'd be happy. I think that'd be fun. I would enjoy it.
What's that feel like?
I don't know. I guess just happy in general.
You do know how that feels.
Yeah.
All you're doing now is getting, okay, good. Like, see how he's laughing, everybody?
Mm-hmm.
It creates laughter, right? It felt good. Did it feel light? Did it feel like, did your shoulder twitch? Like, you know what I mean? Just try to identify how you feel when you think of that.
Right. Yeah. I guess it just feels like, kind of like, like I just have to like smile, like kind of back of my like neck sort of tingles,
Perfect.
My like chest kind of expands.
There
It
you
feels
go.
like light in there. Yeah.
There you go. Get as much as you can. Now, this is what you all might want to do. You all might want to use this tool and then investigate what you feel like when you actually state the thing that you want to experience.
Mm-hmm.
And then now, Roger, we'll create an affirmation for you. What did you say? You acted in a film. So what, you got a speaking role in a film? Is that what you're looking at or what?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
So now use that affirmation. I am I have a role in a film or something, whatever you want to say. Go ahead.
Sure. I have a role in a film.
Okay. Now you put the feeling that you created from how would I feel if.
Mm-hmm.
You see what we're doing?
Right. Yeah.
All we're doing is like we're baking a freaking cake, but we're baking your life cake. All right. You guys got it?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're literally going to basically make yourself feel the way you want to feel. And you're going to understand intellectually, but more important, like spiritually, like, oh, I feel great when I say that, right? It makes sense because the words make sense. I am, I have a role in a film. You know what that means intellectually, but you might not have the feeling with it, but you just created the feeling. You said it makes your chest go like this. It makes you smile. It makes you, laugh a little bit. You see what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
you do know what it feels like, man. You do know.
Mm-hmm.
So try it now with the affirmation, adding that feeling in. Go ahead.
So I have a role in a film. Yeah.
All
I
right,
have a role in the film.
Do you feel that the feeling with
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. Kind
Okay.
of the same sort of feeling. Yeah.
Beautiful. Now look, it's not like all of a sudden, you become a freaking, A+ student at this stuff. It takes time.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that you can get that quick means that if you work on this a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
now you can sit there and take some time for your 5 minutes, right? That you've already figured out how to do in the last week. And now you can put that in there. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And again, things are coming into your life because of what you're putting out, the energy that you're putting out.
Mm-hmm.
It's the feelings the energy that you're sending out.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's what gives opportunities that come in. You got that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Good work, man. Give him a hand. Good work. All right. So get a Reese. The tool is how would I feel if, and then you got to say the tool. Go ahead. Okay, you got to unmute you.
Got
There you go.
All
Okay.
right. Yeah. Now, how would I feel if? How would I feel if my brother was still alive?
Okay. That's a good one. When did he pass?
2014, May 28th.
2014. Does it make you feel good to have him still alive?
Yeah, it made me feel grateful.
Okay, perfect. Then use it. Use it. So go ahead. Say the whole thing complete. How would I feel?
How would I feel if my brother was still alive? Grateful.
Okay, so it makes you grateful and makes you feel good, right?
Right.
Okay, good. So what you're going to do right now, since he's passed in the life that we're in right now, you're going to start transmuting that energy. So instead of having a feeling of like loss or a feeling of like, you wish he was still here, you can
Right.
transmute that. Transmute just means change,
Right.
transition. You're transitioning because think about what he would want. He would want you to feel happy, right?
Right.
There you go. So just focus on that. And how does it make you feel to feel grateful that he's, still here in a way?
That made me feel happy, joyous.
Okay, good. So hold on to those feelings. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because the reality is that we all lose people, all of us, every single one of us. I don't know about you all, but when I was a teenager, my best friend, I lost him. And it was a big blow because I was just I didn't know what it was like, but it was like, oh my God, my best friend in the world. Right. So it's like, we all have loss. It's like how we process it, what we do with it is the way it's going to affect us in our lives. You see what I mean? So bringing something like that up, I think is really good for you because to me, it feels like, yeah, there's some holding on to like, the sadness maybe of his passing and like, how can you change that into a positive energy for yourself?
Right. I gotta transmute it into owning the feelings that I have. Like when I feel grateful. So if I feel happy and joyous about being grateful for having them around, that's the feelings I need to transmute to put out there.
There you go. You can change the way you have been feeling about it. And then, you can also realize like, wow, there's some people that have had brothers and sisters pass, and like, and it's like, how do we go on? How do we move on? How do we make that become a positive rather than it feeling like a hole, right, in our life? And the reality is like, it's our choice. And if we continue to let it be something that drags us down, it will continue to drag us down. But if we allow it to be something that lifts us up, it'll lift us up. But again, it's a choice. All right. So for you, for your affirmation, I would say that would be more of one that kind of like, if you want to use that as your affirmation to process that for yourself a little bit better, to bring yourself more to peace, to raise your energy, raise your vibration, that could be something good for you to work on. All right. If you have challenges with it though, and it starts making you feel bad, well then just, say something, just shoot an email and be like, look, I'm having trouble with this. But, because usually what we try to do is we try to create a positive affirmation in something that is like, it's 100% going to like lift us up because it's something that we want to experience in this life. Right. But you're kind of bringing back something like he's passed to a different experience. So you're working around with that, which is fine. Because if you need to do it, you need to do it. Do you see what I mean?
Right.
If you feel like that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do. That's fine. I'm just trying to offer you a way to transmute it.
Right.
All right. So does it feel a little better when you look at it that way or what?
It do. It makes sense to look at it. It makes a lot of sense.
Awesome. Awesome. And hey man, the reality too is like there's a lot of people I've noticed in life, when they lose someone, they really start focusing on, oh my God, I lost that person. I'm so hurt. I'm so devastated. It's like people in my own friend circle, it's like, well, look, like, you got your life. They had their life. Like, They chose to live their life, and that's when they wanted to go out. Like, whether they knew it or not, that's what they chose. Like, so you have to carry on, because the reality is, like, they would want you to be your best self. You know, they would really want that when you really think into it, you know? So, all right, man, good work. Good work.
No, man, thanks, man. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
you got it. It's a heavy one, but I think you're fine. You're fine with it. All right. All right, Rosario, you ready? What's the tool, Rosario?
Okay. So I put, how do I feel if I was in front
How
of the
would
camera?
I feel
If I was in front of the camera.
Okay. So, how would I feel if?
How do I feel if?
No, how would I feel if?
Oh, how would I feel?
When you
if
say
I-
how would I, it takes the pressure off, because you're just creating it. And then if you want to step inside it, you can, but it takes the pressure off. You see what I mean? So just say,
Oh, okay.
how would I feel if?
How would I feel if I was in front of the camera?
Okay, cool. How would you feel?
Confidence.
Okay, good. What's that feel
a
like?
little bit nervous, but you know.
How would you feel if? Okay, what's confident feel like to you?
Like being prepared.
Good.
Yeah.
Is that how you want to feel in front of the camera?
Yes.
Good. So let's stick with that. How would I feel if I was confident in front of the camera, right? How would I feel if I was in front of the camera? Confident. Because that's how you want to feel, right?
Yes.
Okay, so try it. Go ahead.
What should I say?
Well, look, okay, let me clarify this exercise more for you all. You're creating something that you want to feel like. Does everybody understand that? How would I feel if, and insert something that you really, truly 100% want? Does that make sense? Don't worry about how you're going to get there. Let's just create, like, what makes you happy is another way to phrase that. Everybody, what makes you happy? Think about that. Well, how would you feel like if you had that times 10? You like money? How would you feel if you had $8 million in the bank, right? Money's an easy one because everybody's so freaking money hungry on this planet, right? So, but really, like, how would you feel if you felt, how would you feel if you were working steadily in front of the camera every day, getting paid lots of money, doing what you love, stuff? That's what I'm trying to get you to. You see that, Rosario?
Yes.
But for you, it might just be like, how would I feel if I booked an audition? How would I feel if someone told me that I did a great job on camera? Like, start small. You don't have to go trying to figure out your entire life in this one class right tonight, everybody. Like, just one little thing. Go ahead.
So how would I feel if I was in front of the camera? I would feel confidence.
Is that what you want? And you want to be confident in front of the camera?
Yes.
Okay, good. So what does confidence feel like to you?
Readiness, prepared,
What's it feel like? Those are words.
Happy, I think.
Happy, good.
Happy, focused.
Focused.
Energetic.
Energetic, good.
I think that's it.
Okay, good. So try it all together. How would I feel if?
How would I feel if I was in front of the camera? And then I would say I would feel happy, energetic, and confident.
Try this. How would I feel if I was extraordinary every time I was in front of a camera?
Okay.
Try that.
How would I feel if I was extraordinary. How do you say it?
How would I feel if I was tremendous every time I was in front of a camera?
How would I feel if I was tremendous in front of the camera?
Yeah, how's that feel to you?
Good.
Good?
Yes.
Okay, so that energy that you just created there, how would I feel if I was tremendous, right? You have to create an energy first before you can experience it.
Okay.
So all we're doing is learning how to create feelings right now. So you don't have to like create all in one. You know what I mean? You just got to try to create like a feeling of like, oh, how would I feel if I was tremendous in front of a camera? Well, naturally, you'd probably feel great, right?
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, because if you were tremendous, that means that you did something right.
Okay.
Do you understand that?
Yes.
Somehow I don't quite believe that you completely understand what I'm saying, but but okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. But good work, man. Good work. Good work. All right. Part of the process of this, everybody, is, again, I'm going to repeat it. Leave your, like, you don't have to bring your baggage. You don't have to do it anymore in your life. You don't need it. You don't need it. You can let it go. You can think about what you want. You think about what you truly want to experience and how you want to feel. That will a positive energy. Higher energies absorb lower energies. Did you all know that?
Nope.
Higher energies absorb lower energies. So you don't have to shovel the shit. You could just be like, okay, I'm going to think about the highlight reel and get your mind going into all those good energies, and then it'll like literally absorb all that stuff and you won't even have to worry about it anymore. Do you understand? It doesn't mean that you're not going to have bad days and you're going to have to deal with stuff, but of course you're going to have to do that. But the whole point here is just like dial up your positive energy, because it's just going to help you with everything that you have to deal with, period. That's it. You don't even have to think about why, who, or how the hell it does it. Just trust it. Believe me, I'm telling you the truth. If somebody came up to you right now and was like, look, Roger, we got a role for you. We got a house set up in the Hollywood Hills, and we're going to put 50 grand in your bank account, and we're going to write your 2-week notice for you, and we're going to take care of all your moving expenses. Are you ready, Roger? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, your world is all like, you're constructing your world. I'm working on it too. I'm not perfect at it, but I'm a hell of a lot better than I was like 10, 20 years ago, right? But, you know, my days are predictable. I don't need anything really, you know. I'm doing my work. I'm focusing on what I want to focus on. That's it. Simple as that. I'm free, right? So it's like you have control over that if you allow yourself to. So don't worry about, well, I'm not a confident person. Who cares? I don't give a shit if you're confident or not. I'm going to focus on you being confident. And I want you to focus on that too, because it feels different. It actually feels good. Does everybody get that?
Yep.
But see, a lot of people are going to try to remind you. A lot of people are going to try to sell you and be like, hey, you know how like most people are not hey, you know that? You know how that works? And then friends that are like stuck wherever they're at, they're going to be, oh, wait. The chances of that happening are very slim. The people say, experts say, like everybody said, like, fuck that. That's like, you don't need to listen to that nonsense. All you need to do is focus on creating what you wish to create, vibrating higher energy, and then higher energy that's what you will experience. That's it. Forget about the lower energy stuff because the higher energy will absorb a lower energy. Absorb means like eat it up. Bye-bye, disappear. You see what I mean? It goes away. But if you want to sit there and like sit in it and talk to it and be like, oh my God, it's so crazy. Oh man, this is hard. You can do that. You can certainly focus on your inadequacies if you'd like to. You see what I mean? It's just a choice. I every day focus on how like, and it's not arrogance. I focus on how in shape I am. I focus on how many things I can get done. I focus on how great I am as a friend, as a person, as a human. That's what I love to focus on every day. And you know what? It keeps giving me more opportunities to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? Right?
Yep.
So just like, this is the mental shift. Some of us are kind of there. Some of us are just starting to realize it. Good work, Rosario. It made us think. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Good job. Allison, you ready?
Yeah. So how would I feel if I turned a creative passion into a job? Is that
Okay.
specific enough?
What's that?
Is that specific enough?
So that's, yeah, you could be a little more specific. Like, why don't you be like, how would I feel if I was living my passion and I was
Okay.
getting paid highly to do it or something, you know? Like,
Come on.
What was that?
oh, just make sure you guys mute yourself when someone else is going because we can hear conversations and stuff. All right. Go ahead, Allison.
How would I feel if I was living my passion and getting paid highly to do it? I would feel fulfilled, excited, grateful, probably a little bit in disbelief.
Okay. So focus on the way that you said you would feel before disbelief, right? Because remember what I just said, right? You can choose how you feel. You can focus on your inadequacy, or you can focus on the feelings that were generated that you felt fulfilled. It's like bars on a cell phone. It's always going up or down depending on what you're focusing on. Whatever you focus on expands. So when it comes to living your passion and getting paid highly to do it, Allison, you have kind of right now, at least for this exercise, 3 focuses. One of them is fulfilled. The other one is disbelief. And the other one was what?
Grateful.
Grateful, right. So let's just focus on grateful and fulfilled because you can. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So try it.
So just like start over.
Yeah. You just use it. You're just using the tool, which is in the form of a question, and you're going to create feelings within you, right? You're creating feelings within yourself. And then we're going to explore the feelings so that you can recognize what they are, so that you can recreate them.
Okay. How do I feel when?
How would I feel if?
How would I feel if I were living my passion and getting paid highly to do it?
How would you feel if that was the case?
I would feel excited, grateful, fulfilled.
Cool. What does
Creative.
that feel like, Allison? Creative, excited, fulfilled. What's that feel like?
Almost powerful.
Powerful.
Like I
Cool.
can do anything and I can make it in a way that people appreciate.
There you go. So what's that feel like? Powerful, and you're living in a way people appreciate. What's that feel like?
Just awesome is coming to mind.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome's like a word, but what does awesome feel like?
Just kind of feeling like you can do anything and that your worth is being valued and you're excited about what you're doing. And
Valuable. Good. Okay. All right. Perfect. So now do you see what's happening is like you're exploring how you feel, right? Now, how many times have we explored how we feel about something that we don't like? I can tell you right now, there's some people that have been sending Trump videos ever since this whole thing started. They know a lot about how screwed up someone else is, or blah, 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 blah. They're very familiar with it, right? But when it comes to like these feelings that you're creating right now, you see what I'm saying? Like, we have to start to get even more familiar with what makes us feel like what you just said, like fulfilled. I feel empowered. I feel like I have purpose. I feel like people appreciate. That's what we're doing. We're really investigating how that feels, everything around it. Because again, stronger, higher energy absorbs negative, lower energy, right? So as we get more familiar, and meditation helps us, because the definition of meditation is to become familiar with, meditation helps us to understand these energies. And we're going to really start to focus on all this stuff that makes us feel like this. And then it'll allow us to really kind of float out of PA, float out of Pennsylvania, float out of Reading. You'll float right past the pagoda, Allison, and you'll never look back.
Can't wait.
You know what I'm saying? So like, you'll do it, believe me. So, and anybody else that wants to go anywhere that they want to go and do anything that they want to do, right? Because again, it's just, you're going to need those, you're going to need to keep your focus on what you wish to experience. And those that keep their focus on what they wish to experience what they wish to experience. And those that focus a lot on that, but leave at least 15% on stuff that they, you know, don't want to experience because they think that they're supposed to, will experience 15% of what they don't want to. Do you understand? The more that you can chisel and refine this, it's your energy. You can do whatever you want with it. You're the one that's transmitting it out. I'm just trying to get you really good at it so that you understand what the hell you're actually doing, get you into a habit so that you actually get good at it, right? And then hold you accountable. All right. Good work, Allison. Good job. All right. All right. Who didn't go? Dom, did you go? You got to go. And Frank. Okay. Go ahead, Dom.
And Ben.
And Ben. Okay.
Okay, how would I feel if I performed in a motion picture?
Cool. How would you feel?
Fucking amazing. For me, it'd be just like running to the top of the mountain, finally getting a chance to breathe, almost freedom.
Awesome.
Success, yeah.
How's that feel to you inside, Dom?
I'll get emotional, so I'll, you know, after my life, last couple of years, it would be reflective of my past, kind of the trauma. But man, that view would be great.
Awesome. Yeah, yeah. So just get in there and just live in those feelings of what that feels like to be up there. Did you check out that guy, Jim Quick?
Yeah, I actually did. Yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
Did you like him?
Yeah, you know, I've had some similar people I've followed, you know, in the past with dealing with that. But yeah, definitely.
Cool. Okay, yeah, I thought he might be a good guy. So,
Sure, yeah.
All right. So just get in that feeling, man. Like, what does it feel like to be up there on the top of this mountain of like working as an actor? I mean, do you want to go out to LA? Is that where you want to be?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's great out in LA. You know, it's crowded.
I live there. Yeah, I used to live there, and I never did a damn thing. But
yeah, so just you know, live out in like Calabasas or something. You know, like
right.
drive in, man. You know what I mean?
405.
Get there, feel it out. I'm probably moving out there too, not too long. So I'll be hanging out. We'll be hanging out, man.
All right, man.
So just, you know, feel what that feels like. Cause you know, you have the ability to make yourself feel the way you would like to feel.
Sure.
And once you get into the feelings of how you wish to feel, and these results that are awesome, high energy results for you in your life, and they connect like with your heart, that's a place you want to be, you know?
Yeah. 100%.
So get in there and just keep working on it. Your 5 minutes with an affirmation that says, I'm living in LA, living my dream, working, or whatever you want it to be, right? Just inject these feelings in. Let that affirmation be the words, but look at this, everybody. Look at this as like the words are the words, and now I'm going to inject the feeling that I created inside those words. And every time I speak those words, I feel like that.
Yeah.
And then you're putting that energy out. And again, whatever you put out is what comes back. So you putting that energy out, you're going to get experiences that reflect the energy that you put out. It has to happen that way. And if you get really good at that each and every day, I'm telling you, things are going to start burp, 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 fast forwarding, you know?
Yeah.
And don't hold on to like, just, you know, like, oh my God, Ronnie McBaker got it because of his hairdo or whatever. You know, it's like, don't hold on to that. Hold on to like, yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, especially you, because you don't have hair, you know? I mean, but it's like, you know, you can do whatever the hell you want to do if you put that energy out there. Do you understand? It starts with you.
Bro. Yeah.
It starts with you. It does not start with what you see. It doesn't start that way. It actually starts internally, and then it goes outside. So that should be awesome if you didn't know that, right? That should be an awesome revelation. You're like, holy shit. You know, like, you mean what I see because it's always been that way? Well, things always change. There's always a time when like someone new comes along that changes the way things always were. It always happens. That could be you. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
just
Yeah.
live in the world of possibility, and then you'll just experience the possibilities. You know?
Definitely.
Why not? All right. Good work, Dom. Good work. Awesome. All right, Frank, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Go for it.
How would I feel if I had a platform to influence others positively?
Okay, beautiful. Great. Do you know what that platform might be?
Yes. It is basically the platform is basically using my talents, of course, to make money, and then using monies and fees to for causes that a lot of us don't typically try to, endorse, like mental health and homelessness and school districts in the United States. Add money to the curriculum that
Beautiful.
that's being cut, partially, and it's supposed to be fueling our generation.
Oh, wait, your sound's going out. Just tap it. Tap it a little bit. Tap it. Kind of mute yourself and unmute yourself. See if that helps.
Got it.
Oh, there you go. Good.
Yeah. So it's two things that I don't really, that I really cherish, and it's the elder and the youth. And anything that I can to endorse their well-being is something that I want to put my resources into.
Cool.
Because we got, so
You don't like the middle-aged people?
I mean, I feel like we can do for ourselves.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Yeah,
I
we're
feel
at the
like we
prime
have-
of our life. Yeah, you're right.
We have everything at our fingertips to do for ourselves.
Yeah.
But we tend to leave our elders and our children, and give them access to a lot of stuff that taints them as individuals.
Got it.
So
I agree with you. Yeah.
Right. So if I can use my platform to influence education and healthcare and more opportunities for people that are underprivileged, then I think that's what I will want to do as an individual. Because at the end of the day, if you ain't reaching back to help anybody, what's good is what you're doing anyway. You know what I'm saying? You can't take it with you.
Love it. So what do you, so go ahead and play around with that. So you start a company or like a, what is it? Have you thought it out as far as like the structure of it or what?
I thought of a lot of things. I've thought of a lot of people don't use CDs anymore. I wanted to try to get get kids acclimated with how to save money and how to generate money.
Okay, good.
Or
So
get-
be specific just for this exercise and just say, how would I feel if I created a company where I'm, offering CDs to kids that can help them with financial literacy
Right.
or something?
How would I feel if I had the opportunity to educate children as well as elders on opportunities that may lead to their advancement?
Advancement, beautiful. All right, how would you feel?
Oh, through the roof. I would feel grateful, honored, joyful, free, liberated.
Cool. What does that
all of
feel
it.
like? What does that feel like?
That feels like, a weight lifted off my shoulders. I feel
Good.
like I hold the world on my shoulders anyway. So maybe I
Yeah.
can let some of that weight go by sharing details with others that may help their lives.
That's exactly it. Yeah, because that's in you. What you're saying is in you. So until you exercise it, it's going to feel like it's it's on your shoulders. But once you start getting it out, then you're going to feel like that feeling that you just described, because now you're executing on the vision that you have, right?
Uh-huh.
So how would you feel if you were doing that? Well, yeah, let's just look at it and define it so you can see yourself and you're doing it and your platform and people are coming to you for help and you see how whatever you're doing is actually helping them to advance, right? Their advancement seems like it was like a really key, cornerstone right there.
Right.
And, stay in that vibe, man. Like for 5 minutes, use an affirmation. I am, I am running my own company, serving for the advancement of the youth and elders in my, area and maybe even the world. You know what I mean? You can make it like one of my friends in New Zealand, he just created a international thing for peace and help people out of poverty and stuff. And he's going all over the world talking to people. He was telling us about it the other day. And it's like, he feels great, because of what he's doing. And it seems like that's the track that you're on as well. I could totally see you doing that, man. It just feels like that would, be your purpose,
Absolutely.
So get in touch with that and work with that energy. Use that affirmation, that 5 minutes, to make it real. And that's going to give you a ton of energy to help it be realized. It's going to help you execute. Oh, what do? I do this. I do that. It's going to feed you with the energy. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. All right. Good work. Good man.
All right.
Good stuff. Yeah. That's like change the world type stuff. All right. Ben, you ready?
Sir.
Go ahead.
Yeah. How would I feel if I was an A-list actor?
Okay.
I would feel grateful. I'll feel amazing. I'll feel motivated. I will feel grateful the most though, because I can just I can do a lot of stuff with my money, and I will do a lot of stuff with my influence.
Good. So what? Okay. So get inside that grateful feeling that you have with your influence and like you as a leading actor. What's that like? What's it feel like? Satisfying to you that you're doing something
Satisfying
good, or what?
it feels like this feels like you appreciate it the most.
Mhm.
You just feel like you appreciate the world the most. The other people that watch your stuff, people that always admire you as an actor. You appreciate them more. I feel like you just appreciate just people that just send you positive vibes.
Good. What's it feel like, man, inside your body when you talk like this?
It feels like it feels good to be like I'm trying to figure out a word to say. It feels like I'm doing something good.
Cool. Yeah. See, it's a feeling that, no drug or no like alcohol is ever going to give you. You know what I mean?
Never.
Like, because you're creating it from within. It's not something from without that you're introducing to you. You're learning how to create that feeling. So, and then when you do that, which is a very authentic, genuine feeling, you're transmitting that because our brains are transmitters. So we transmit out and then we pull back like whatever we're transmitting out. That's why, like, if you're all pissed off and you're like, God damn it, this motherfucker, and then you come up to a stop sign and then somebody like bumps into your car behind you, that's why you attracted that.
Yeah.
Because you're like sitting there with all that negative vibe, and then all of a sudden a negative vibe occurrence befalls you. Do you get
Exactly. Exactly. That's how I
Right?
sprained my. That's how I sprained my ankle. Actually, this is a good story. You
And
bring that
that's
up.
to
I was
teach
trying.
you.
Yeah, I was messing with the kid. But it was a little competition argument, and I kept just trying to get like egg him on, egg him on. Then I had like a little fast break in basketball, and when I went to take a layup, and I went down on my ankle real hard, and I was like, I shouldn't have did that.
You
Taking all serious
created it.
enough. Yeah,
Yeah.
created
And see, the best thing for you, how old are you, Ben?
it. 19.
19, is that you now know that you just created that so that you can learn, whereas most people your age are going to have that and be like, oh my God, I fell, and blame it on the sport, or blame it on the other guy, or blame it on there was a stone on the court, or blame it on like a fucking bluebird flew by and interrupt. You know what I'm saying? Like they're going to blame. They're going to play the blame game. But when you don't play the blame game and you take the responsibility game and you realize, well, I created a negative energy, which is like a negative pull. And then all of a sudden I had a negative occurrence where that energy kind of like, you know, almost instantaneously like hit me down on my ankle. It manifested in that area, right? I can't explain it. You know, you don't got to go like all crazy guru, you know, mythic about it, but you just know that that's actually what happened. You now are like, you just elevated your spiritual enlightenment and your ability to live the way you want to live. Do you see what I mean? By like light years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely.
Good. He's like, yeah, exactly. I get it. All right, cool. So just keep doing it, my brother, because now, you know, now you get to learn. Not all of us got to learn that when we were your age. You know what I mean? We thought like, oh man, I'm not that good because I sprained my, you know, we attributed all this other stupid bullshit to these occurrences.
Exactly.
Or we blame somebody for a year, 2, 3, 5, 10. We blame somebody else, right? Don't be paying the blame game. Never works.
Never.
Blame game is like it just takes away. But the responsibility game for everything adds all the time. All right. So good work, man. That's a really good revelation that you got. Beautiful. All right. So we'll take a quick break, but just remember, everybody, to rehash it. Everybody went, right? Everybody had chance? Okay, good. No high energy result will ever flow to a low energy source. So if you like, my God, in the entertainment business, God, did they know that? This is what you'll hear because I've sat there. I've been paid to sit there in New York for big castings and advise and consult with the casting director. And I've also been to hundreds of auditions and also worked in hundreds of projects. And what they are looking for and what they can smell is high or low energy. You see what I mean? Because they have a product called a movie, TV show, whatever it is, play. They want to fill it with high energy because they want what? What's a high energy result if you have a movie? Success. What is a movie that sold more than any other movies in the box office?
Blockbuster.
Blockbuster, right. What name a blockbuster?
Titanic. It comes to mind.
Titanic. Is that a high energy result, the movie Titanic, or a low energy result?
I mean, it's a high energy result.
High energy result. So could it come from a low energy source if it's a high energy result?
Nope.
No way. It had to come from a high energy result, which means the producers, right, are very keen to understand every piece, every component that they put into that product, which turns out to be the Titanic. They make sure to, you know, they're all human, but they're making sure that they put high energy components in there. Does everybody understand that? That's why we're getting ourselves as high energy as we can, because do you have to know how to memorize? Yeah. Do you have to know how to know all the stuff that I'll teach you through the 6 weeks about character analyzation and all your responsibilities and blah, 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 blah? Yeah. Of course you need to know all that, but that's something that can be learned. You can train anybody to do that, right? As long as you have focus and you're going to put the work in, you're going to learn how to research a character. I'll teach you how to be clever. I'll teach you how to do things that'll, you know, make other people look, you know, that'll make you look like you're a more smart actor. I'll teach you all that stuff. But I can't get you to do these things. I can't force you to do it. You have to do the stuff to raise your energy frequency higher. Get it? Does everybody understand that? So if you can get that in the first week or two of us being together, oh man, it's I'm telling you, you're going to just watch what happens. It always happens for people, always, and in miraculous ways. Dom, go ahead. You had a question.
When you said you were like going for these auditions and everything, and you got to bring that level of energy to the audition.
Yeah.
What's something that you did prior to like walking through that door to kind of get your energy like on point?
Okay. So things that I would do, I would visualize my result. I would be positive. I'm getting rid of all my negative emotional blockages, which is what I'm starting to teach you, right? I can't do everything in 6 weeks, but I'm going to do a hell of a lot for you. But obviously it takes time. That's why that mentorship group is so important for you all. Take advantage of it. If you don't want to do it after 6 weeks, then just cancel, but take advantage of it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's exactly what we cover every week. We just talk about problems and issues and little kind of like nuggets of what you can do to improve this frequency, this energy that you have. I learned, I was like, okay, I got to eat better. I got to exercise all the time. You know, I exercise every day, 7 days a week. You know what I mean? Because why? Well, like one day I might take off a Sunday, but I'm always doing something that's like active on a Sunday, you know? But, you know, keep yourself around positive people. Like who was saying that? You were saying that. No, wait, who was saying that about the positive, negative people? Right. Frank, you're realizing that. Yeah, you got to keep yourself away from those negative people. If you got somebody that's like, hey, what's up? You know, Bartholomew, and Bartholomew's like, what's up? Yeah. Oh man, did you see the latest corona statistics? Oh man, but Donald Trump, he's such an asshole. Like if you know what I mean, you got to keep yourself away from these people at all costs. Watch yourself when you're watching the news. Don't watch the news. You don't have time right now to watch the news. What you do have time to do is train and raise your frequency higher. Because if you raise your frequency higher, everything that you want to happen is going to happen. Like somebody called me today and they're like, Bernard, I'm not going to tell you what it was. We're like, Bernard, can you help me do this? I was like, sure, I can help you do that. $5,000, right? How long would that take me? It might take me a day or less to do that. Now, whether or not that's, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't go out looking for that. It came to me. Why? Because I'm constantly, I'm keeping my frequency high. I'm helping everybody. I'm being as honest as I can with people. I'm living authentically. I'm living in my power. I'm trying to eat as good as I'm not the best eater. I'm not, but I do eat like, you know, vegetables every day. But I like some like ice pop sometime, you know, when it's hot, or like, you know, ice cream, or like, you know, whatever. I don't have a perfect diet, but I work on it. You know what I mean? But I'll tell you, like, you know, I definitely drink a lot of water. I definitely drink a green drink. I definitely take some good vitamin C. I definitely do like some things every single day that are adding to my health along with exercise, right? I push myself. I make sure I sweat. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not good enough to just go, like, you know, you got to sweat. You really got to sweat. It's got to really actually do something. These are the things that will help you bring in high energy, Dom. Visualizing. We'll get to visualizing. I'll teach you guys some visualizing techniques. Actually, did you all know that there's 2 types of visualization? All right. Anybody know that? All right. We'll talk about that when we get back. But more importantly, when we get back, I want to make sure everybody got a monologue, and we're going to talk about monologues, preparing monologues, what you're going to do next week when you actually perform your monologue. And, but I'll also, if you want to know, I'll teach you about the types of visualization, because you can actually start visualizing you performing next week successfully so that you can actually get a jump start. Does everybody understand that? Instead of going into that moment, oh, I don't know what's going to happen, you can start visualizing, because you know what you look like. Just go look in the mirror, right? So you can, you know so you can visually see yourself, and you can also look outside of your own eyes, and you can also see people's reaction. And you could also visualize like, oh my gosh, everybody's like, wow, you were amazing. You can get that done. But will you do it? That's the thing. But we'll talk about that when we get back. So take like 5 minutes, but if you get back earlier, it would be better because we got about a half hour left. So I'll see you at 8:10. All right. Okay, guys. All right. So, okay. How's the sound coming in, by the way? Is it good?
Good.
Good. Okay, good. All right. I got a new microphone, so I'm glad it sounds good for you all. All right. All right, Dominic, get a Reese. You all here? All right. So let's just get to it while it's still fresh, because Dom brought up the question, and I want to kind of help enlighten you all to something very powerful, which is the two types of visualization. Okay, wait. Now Dominic's actually running late. I want him to hear this. So, does everybody have a monologue? Now, okay, cool. So one of the things, okay, so everybody hold it up and hold it towards the camera so I can see it. Awesome. I just see one. I just see Rosario.
I didn't
And
print
his
mine out.
computer.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what you want to do, everybody. You want to print it out. Who does not have a printer? Anybody? All right. You want to print it out like Rosario. Rosario, way to kick ass. You got it. You literally, and I don't know if I said it or not, you have to have a paper copy. You really want to have a paper. It's just the way I'm telling you. It's like power in your hand. If it's on your phone or if it's in your mind or if it's like, on your computer, it's not going to work. You need a tried and true piece of paper, because we're going to start writing on that paper, and we're also going to have you holding it, because when you go in person to these auditions, that is a skill. You're going to have to learn how to hold it, believe it or not, right? So you're going to I'm not going to hold it like this, right? I'm not going to hold it like that. I'm going to hold it kind of about right there, right? A little bit off camera, but still kind of on. So why? So that it's not too far away, that my eyes have to go too far to get it. Nor would I want it down here if I forget something and I got to look down, right? You want to hold it so that your eye line is very close to it, so that you can grab words and then say them either on camera, which means I'm doing a commercial, or to whoever I'm speaking to, which usually you're going to have right above the camera or right to the left or right to the right, depending on what makes sense. Does everybody get that? So that's how you're going to do auditions and self-tapes and all, but we'll work on that. It's a skill. You'll get used to it. All right, Dominic, you here? Because you're kind of going in and out. I want to start the visualization talk. All right, well, we got to go. So here's the deal, everybody. There is visualization. Who's ever heard of visualization? All right. So there's two types of visualization. One of them is 10, 20, 50, 100, you name it, times more powerful than the other one. All right. Does anybody know the names of them? The type of visualization? No. Okay. So, all right. The first one, the one that is least powerful, is called disassociated visualization. Now, if you can all imagine, you are driving in a Ferrari down PCH. Does everybody know what PCH is? Anybody not know what PCH is? PCH is Pacific Coast Highway in California. It runs up the coast. So it literally goes all the way from into Los Angeles up to San Francisco, down to it doesn't really run through the beach cities towards San Diego, but at times you can get closer, but it's more so LA up to San Fran, the northern part of California. PCH runs. It's Pacific Coast Highway. That's what it's called. Dom knows what that is. So if I'm using disassociated visualization and I'm driving in what color Ferrari? Someone pick a color.
White, like Don Johnson's.
Who said that? Ben?
Sonny Crockett reference. That's
Benny.
a plus.
Good old Donnie Johnson in a white Ferrari going up PCH, right? Now, I want you to imagine that you're driving the Ferrari, the white Ferrari on PCH. Now, bring yourself PCH. It looks like you're driving right along a mountain and there's ocean right next to you. So I want you to disassociate. And what that means is that you can be like hovering, or like, you know, what a paddleboard is. Maybe pretend you're paddleboarding out in the ocean and you're looking at the picture of you driving the white Ferrari down PCH. You can see the Ferrari, you see you in it driving it, but you see the picture. That's called disassociated. Why? Because you are outside of the actual picture and you're observing the picture. All right? So that's one form of visualization. It's not the most powerful form. The most powerful form is called associated visualization. Associated visualization is that you are now associated with the actual scene itself. So now you're inside the white Ferrari, looking at the steering wheel, obviously looking at the instrument panel, looking out the windshield, seeing the road, and you can see the ocean to your right, and you can see the mountains to your left. Does everybody understand the difference? That's associated visualization, seeing out of your own eyeballs, the actual, like you're in your body and you're seeing everything as you do it. All right? Associated. So what I would say, Dom, when you go to these auditions, what I would do is I would take time before you even get there to figure out where the hell you're going, because a lot of times you don't know where you're going, right? Figure out where you're going. See it. You can figure that out on Google Maps. You can put, where am I going? What's a building look like, right? Get yourself associated with the visual of you walking to that building and all that other stuff. And when you get into the room, guess what you do? You jump up in the air and no, and you do a flip, and there was like, holy shit, this person's talented. No, what you do is you are going into a blank room, everybody. You're going, this is actually, like, to me, I consider this like a super golden secret, because I never hear acting coaches talking about it. You're going into a blank room on purpose. And the reason why you're going into a blank room is because they have to see you prove that you are actually some kind of creative wizard. And the way that you become a creative wizard is that even before you go to that blank room, which a lot of the times is just some rented room, because they're obviously not on the set, because they're obviously talking about a project that's into the future, right? What you bring into that blank room is you bring a associated visualization of everything in the scene that you're auditioning for. I mean, everything. So when you walk into that room, you can greet them and see the people that are sitting there in that room that are going to observe you, the casting director, the producer, whoever the hell happens to be there, their uncle, their aunt, their freaking whoever they got with them, their sugar daddy or baby, whatever, whoever is with them, right? You can see them, but I want you to immediately after you introduce yourself, hi, how's everybody doing? I want you to just, even if you have to like blink your eyes, and when you open them, I want you to see the actual scene, and that's it. But in order to see that scene, you would have had to do that, practice that a lot. Does everybody understand? In order to see that visual in an associated way, you would have had to materialize that with a lot of energy ahead of time. Because once you get there, you're going to have your energy is going to be diverted. Oh my God, I'm a little nervous now. I'm here with real. Oh my God, I didn't know Alec Baldwin was going to be sitting in. Oh my God. Oh my God. You know, oh my God, someone said something to me. Oh my God. Like there's going to be other actors that are going to be trying to throw you off in the waiting room. You know, you don't know what you're going to be up against. It's war out there. You know what I mean? Like you don't know what's going to, there could be some actor hitting on you. Some actors, in my case, actresses hitting on me every time I go to an audition. I'm kidding. But do you understand what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what you're going to face. I want you to be focused with that associated visual of exactly where you're at, who you're talking to, what they look like, what they sound like, what they smell like. Know your lines. If you only do that, from the time that we know each other, you are going to come out light years ahead of most other actors who are all basing it all on, oh, I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm making all the right choices. Oh my God, my performance here, but you see what I mean? You guys get the difference? You're going to see, you're going to engage in, like, you're bringing in a very dense, high energy. They're like, you walk in and you bring the visualization in, they're like, well, and don't say anything. Don't be like, oh, the reason why you feel that is because I'm actually visualizing the entire scene right now. Ha. Don't say that. Just do it. In that corner of the room where there's like a little stupid trash can, you ain't seeing that stupid trash can in that casting office. You see whatever the hell's in the scene. If you're in an alley, if you're in a vineyard, if you're in outer space, if you're in a Wild West, whatever the hell makes sense, that's what you see. Does that make sense, everybody? Now, what do you think that's going to do for your performance?
Add reality to it.
Yeah, it's going to make it more real. Exactly. It's going to make your body be like, oh, yeah, okay, that's where I'm at right now. This is real. Do you guys all understand that? All right. Yeah. So visualization in an associated way is the most powerful thing that you can bring in. I want you to start thinking about that, because next week when you all go, all right, I want you to look at your monologue. Don't worry about, giving an Oscar-winning performance on your monologue or getting judged. You understand there's so many other things at work here. We're tuning your frequency up. We're giving you the ability to visualize exactly where you're going to be standing. You're not going to see Bernard's head and hair. You're not going to see all the rest of us. You're going to say, hey, everybody, I'm whoever I am. Hey, what's up? I'm going to do blank from blank. And then you're going to just like shut everything else out, and you're going to open your eyes. And right before you, you're going to be speaking to whoever you're speaking to. Wherever you're at is not going to be where you're at anymore. It's going to turn into whatever you have learned about that monologue that you're looking at this week. Does that make sense? You're going to be like a detective, and you're going to start to realize some truth and reality from inside that monologue. And ultimately, we're going to get the two things, and I'm going to make it as easy as I can on you all. It's going to come down to understanding the story and understanding your character in that order. Don't worry about, oh my God, my character, the first and foremost thing you should even be thinking about is the story that you're telling. You are part of a story. You are a part of a whole, right? There's no I in team. You've heard it all before. You see, when teams win, it's powerful because everybody works together harmoniously. That's the way I want you to approach acting. I want you to look at the story as the thing that you are a part of, and your character that you're playing is a part of that story. And I'm going to get to that next week. I'm going to ask everybody, oh, okay, well, tell me about the story. So I'm just talking to you now about it ahead of time. So a couple things to prepare. Read it. You don't have to memorize it. If you want to memorize it, then do it. But I'm not holding you accountable for that, because that would give you so many things to do next week that you'd be like, oh my God, you'd be like, right? Like, so one thing at a time. So just get this thing down, get the piece of paper, because only Rosario was the only one that was on it. You know what I mean? He had that sucker printed out. So everybody else has got to print out their monologue on a piece of old paper, right? Make sure it's about a minute. Don't say you can't find one. You all have one anyway, right? Everybody has one, right? And get ready to understand what it is that you are actually getting into. We're going to read it. You're going to perform it. I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm going to teach you how to even start to pull it apart, because obviously you're going to have to analyze it, right? now I'm just, these exercises and then giving you that. It was just good timing to give you that disassociated visualization lesson because Don brought it up. So it was kind of like, all right, let's do it. Because, there it was, right? But you can bring that in the next week, and that's going to improve your experience. Every time that you perform, you're going to be creating an energy for yourself. It's going to feel really good and like you got somewhere, or it's going to feel miserable. Oh my God, I did horrible, right? And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to help you constantly create really positive experiences for yourself so that it motivates you. And you keep building it. You build that energy bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. All right? All right. Questions, go ahead. Anybody. If everybody has a question, that's totally fine. So everybody, if you have a question, go ahead. Frank, you can start. Go ahead.
I actually don't have a monologue. Where would I actually get it from?
All right. So Rosario, you want to help him? Well, I'm turning up the volume here.
I got the links on my email.
Okay,
So
yeah. Okay, I remember.
The links in the email. You got it? Oh my God, that helped you.
Got it. There you go.
Awesome. Cool. I did send them. Yeah. Simply Scripts is one. You got Collins Movie Page is one. I mean, Frank, you could literally type in male monologue, age, blah, 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 however old you are. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's really easy. Just type it into Google. But Rosario, thanks for that. That clicked. Beautiful. All right.
Yep.
Nice. Who's got a question? Hit me. Ben, go ahead.
Is I'm doing a monologue like every other day or every day good for your act? Like, would it improve acting every day?
I mean, anything in life, if I was a mechanic, as long as I'm working on a car every day, I'm working towards my craft. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So if you actually start to, work on it and just look at it, you know what I mean? Just read it. You don't have to memorize it. You don't have to. I haven't taught you how to go deep into analyzing it just yet. So, because I don't want you to worry about that yet. I want to show you what comes before all that. Do you understand? But
Yeah.
if you all of a sudden are like, look, I gotta I'm trying to find out more, well, then you'll find out more about it. You'll keep reading it and you'll start to feel it out. What I'm going to have you do next week is you're all going to feel it out. And I'm going to show you the difference between your preconceived notion of what you think it is as opposed to what it actually is. And we're going to distinguish that. Why are we going to do that? So that you can be very expedient is a word I would use, or very, you can choose wisely when you are looking at material, but also like when you're deciding on how you're going to act, you can refine what you're doing so you don't waste a lot of your energy, so you don't have to go back and repeat and reverse and get adjusted and be like basically in a downward spiral of annoyingness, right? I want you to like figure it out, right? Like I want you to figure out like how to be smart with your time and energy. So that's why I'm going to teach you like a very methodical, slow way to understand, oh, what's that? What's that, right? So I'm not going to really have you act too much next week. But some of you are going to do it anyway because you just can't help yourself. And that's okay, right? That's why I'm here to help you. All right. So who else has got a question? Anybody got a question? All right. So look, go ahead, Roger.
Yeah. So what do the next 4 weeks look like in terms of the classes?
Okay. So the next 4 weeks is going to be you performing and you learning how to perform. And also you learning like about 45 different things that you need to know that is like a checklist for professional actors. Got it? So it's a curriculum that sits right next to me. And I make sure that I get it all in. So did you want to know that, like what you're going to be doing on week 5?
Yeah, I was just curious about
Okay.
What was going, yeah.
Yeah, usually it all comes out, but it comes out to different groups in different ways, and I don't stand in the way of that. So I kind of like the way that this is going and flowing right now. But I would say, like, if you have, like, you'll have questions, you know what I mean? And that's why, like, getting on that mentorship group call is the best thing, because now you have time. Just ask a question and start listening to what other people are saying, you know? Now that supplements like this for you. All right. But if you're really like stuck, like Rosario emailed me and he's like had some questions, then, you know, email me. That's fine. All right. But just get it together. Get it together. I mean, right now your homework is establish, you know, 7 days a week, these 3 things. Work with an affirmation that you today started to create a feeling for. Get a monologue and print it out into a physical copy on a piece of paper. Understand next week you can bring a visual, an associated visualization of where you are in your monologue. You can bring that to the table, okay? And anything else you do on top of that would be really good. Some people memorize it. Some people find the story. They don't just bring, you know, a piece of paper. They realize like, oh, I should find out what happens before this and after this. But, you know, those people are very proactive. Okay? You can do that, but you don't have to, because I don't want to stack too many things so that you're just, you know, you're still not, you know, you come and you're still not doing, you know, all these exercises. All right. So next week we will all perform. That's what next week will be about. Each one of us will have performance time. All right. Does that help, Roger, to understand the flow? All right. Who else? Dom.
Just a quick question. I know when I was looking for a monologue, I shifted gears and I went to another monologue because I felt like I was doing an impersonation rather than a monologue.
Yep.
Like when you're doing a monologue, I guess, is it best to actually see it, maybe like in a movie, or is that actually not a good thing? Because
because it's not that good, because if you can't break your preconceived notion of the way it was performed, or you're trying to lend or say like, oh, well, this is the way Pacino did it. That's not you acting. That's you just doing the word you used. What was the word? Impersonation.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that.
Now, impersonations are great. I know many talented performers that can do hundreds of impersonations, and a lot of really talented actors do impersonations because it's funny, it's cool, it's interesting. But right now, I'm teaching you the skill, the craft of acting. I'm teaching you how to develop yourself as an artist. So I'm not interested in how Brad Pitt or Meryl Streep did it. In fact, I don't even care how they did it. All I care about is that you pick some material, that you get familiar with it, and that you perform it. And then I'll work through everything with you, and I'll show you how you're actually developing your craft. But do not look at how other people did it and then say, yeah, but they did it like this. We're just using material, everybody, right? Because I'm a good gunslinger doesn't mean like, well, because a rifle exists, that makes me a good gunslinger. No, it's because I could, you know what I mean? I could shoot guns. It's like, because I'm a good hockey player doesn't mean that like the skates that are the best skates. No, there's awesome players that wear all kinds of brands of skates and sticks and whatever sport you guys play, like football, basketball, whatever it is. It's like, you know, it's you that's actually gonna make it something. So I want you to develop your artistry. So what we're doing is we're developing you right now, because you're gonna have to sell you. And I already know they want high frequency, high energy people. You got it? Because high energy people have unlimited creativity. And if you have unlimited creativity, you're an easy piece to plug into the puzzle. You get that? I honest to God, it's kind of like, I don't really know. And a lot of my students tell me, they're like, people are just not teaching it this way. And it's true. They're not. They're very much teaching it on like, ooh, the actor does this, the actor does that. Like, look, I've been there, done that. I studied at the best acting studios in Los Angeles. I've read all the books, not all of them, but a lot of them. I performed in New York and Los Angeles and everything you can imagine, and Philadelphia. It's not like I haven't been there. And all I'm here to say is that, you know what? Sometimes the person from Juilliard doesn't get the job and they have no idea why. And I don't want any of the people that I train to not know why, because a business is a business, and a business doesn't care about, it just doesn't care. A business cares about one thing: profit and loss. Does everybody understand that? So if the business is ABC Studios, they care about profit and loss. They have to make sure that whoever the person is that they're hiring to come into the production can like deliver what they need to be delivered. So if I get you to a high frequency, that means your energy's higher. That means that your creativity's higher. That means that, of course, you're going to have all the disciplines that you're supposed to have, but you're going to have an edge. Get it? My one focus is getting you guys to get work as actors. If I do that, what you paid me for and the time we spent together is worth it to you. And you feel like, oh, I got the result I was looking for when I went to that guy. And then that continues, right? So it's as simple as that. It's actually, my focus isn't as much on teaching you a method or technique as much as it's getting you to learn how to book work. Do you understand? Because that's what you really want. You actually could care freaking less about how the hell you book that work. You care about booking the goddamn work at the end of the day. That's the truth. But a lot of people rely on like, oh, well, that's the way these people, I love them. Stanislavski, Meisner, I love them. I love them. I love them. They're great. I love them. I love them. But you know what? Like, because I love them and they were so great about how they articulated what that you shouldn't do doesn't mean that that's going to get me a job. And I want you all to get a job, to get paid, and to understand how the hell you're doing it. Period. So that's what we're about. You got it, players and playettes. All right. That's what we're about. So, so anybody else got anything else? All right, good work. I put the link to the mentorship group in the chat. If you want to jump into that, join up for it. Click it, join up for it. If after it's 6 weeks are free. If after 6 weeks you don't like it, go away, unsubscribe to it. Simple as that. It's black and white. You know what I'm saying? All right. I hope to see you guys on Monday. Have an awesome week. Make sure you do all these exercises. Double down. You got, we're in this thing for what? Well, 7 weeks really, but get something major out of this. All the people that come in and want something major out of it, get something major out of it, right? It's as simple as that. All right. Good work, everybody. Awesome.